Biology students who are coming into course week 23. I don't know why I wrote week 21 overview video, but let's just fix that real quick. I guess my brain was not working correctly this morning, so there we go. So watch week 23 overview video, which I'm making right now. And then there's lots of little things coming together here. I don't think this week will take you more than other weeks. It's just that there's smaller pieces to this puzzle this week. So one is to look at one of Milgram's experiments and to kind of think about the conclusions that were made from this. Maybe the conclusions had a little bit more to do with where the experiment was done than what the experiment is, but I'll leave that for you to think about. It's kind of interesting. Then you're going to work on conformity, compliance, and obedience concept map. Hopefully that can be one day's work together. Then on Tuesday, we're going to look at group influences on behavior and mental processes. On Wednesday, we call this treatment of others, but if we want to have terms, it's kind of on bias and prejudice and discrimination. It's Wednesday. On Thursday, I know this is a little bit tricky because none of us want to be prejudiced, but we all do hold some stereotypes, and I don't think that this is necessarily bad. I think that we would have a really hard time making decisions at all if we didn't use kind of mental shortcuts in our thinking. But sometimes our mental shortcuts do lead us to make some decisions and conclusions that are not correct. I'll give an example. So my son sees a lot of things here in Europe about different people causing problems in cities in Western Europe. And I had taken him to a bigger city last spring, and he saw a group of people who looked different than him. And he thought about his mental heuristic, right? His shortcut was, oh, this must be what I'm seeing on the television. And he's like, we should cross the street. I'm a little bit scared. And I said, Henry, there's no reason. I said, you can tell this is just a group of students, right? There was a group of different young people. And I said, look, they're all dressed really well. They're all laughing. They're going to go into that bar over there or nightclub, and they're going to have fun with each other. And he's like, okay, he understood. So we should be aware of our mental shortcuts. And so I just want you to share one and kind of explain what you're thinking. Also on Thursday, another activity that I hope you'll have fun with. It's a little game theory activity. So you'll see. I don't want to give it away, but I think it's interesting. And then on Friday, this altruism, aggression, interpersonal attraction concept map is the last concept map. And then hopefully you've been finishing your current events project, and maybe I left that due till Sunday, but maybe you also get that done on Friday. This Thursday work should be relatively quick, so maybe on Thursday you finish this too, and you do Friday's work ahead. You guys are pretty good about planning your time. So that will bring us to the end of our social psychology. And when I make the next video for week 24, you can see we're moving to motivation. So keep sending me your questions and concerns. I hope you have a great week. Talk to you later.